Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I really appreciate us having this conversation today because what we're lifting up is, it seems like a lot of anger and frustration with the way that things are in this moment. And I would agree, the American people all over the country, from sea to shining sea, they're angry and frustrated and afraid as they see the cost of living skyrocket under the administration. Prices are up and families across the country are struggling to make ends meet. We all know, if you go to the grocery store right now, the price of ground beef or orange juice. We're talking about DEI, but I have a couple of questions as it relates to what is actually germane to most folks in this country in this moment. Mr. Gonzalez, the Bureau of Labor Statistics has found that the price of everyday goods like food and housing and clothes has increased more than 4% over the last 12 months. Mr. Gonzalez, yes or no, is DEI the reason that Americans can't afford clothes or groceries?
No, I believe Biden was.
Okay, no, I'm asking you right now, is DEI groceries?
Yeah,
Is
you know,
DEI?
I don't think that DEI has anything to do with it. I think
Thank you. I'm
President
going
Biden's
to
policies
move
did.
forward. What about housing? Is DEI the reason why 2 teachers working in any state in this country can't afford to buy a house?
Again, I would say Biden.
Okay, Biden is the reason why, but not DEI. So Biden.
I don't think DEI has
But we're
anything
not.
to do
But
with
Biden
inflation.
is not the president right now. But we'll move forward. Ms. Stepman, and if I mispronounce your name, I really apologize. The American families on average paid $310 more for groceries in 2025 under the current administration than they did in 2024. Yes or no, did DEI cause that?
No, there are in fact other issues under the sun.
Thank you. Dr. Shires, under our current administration, gasoline prices have increased by more than 50% since this disastrous war. Is DEI the fault of that?
I don't believe so.
Thank you, sir. This is why, I think all of us, many folks who are watching, are struggling with the conversation today. City after city, in rural space after rural space, folks are struggling with the realities of gas and grocery prices. Just a few days ago, a family called my office, not from my state, from a red state, requesting resources because their child's clinical trial was cut by this administration. That baby who is struggling with cancer, the clinical trial is over, the port has been taken out of her chest, she will go home to die. And we are talking about inclusion and equity and diversity. While SNAP benefits are cut, folks can't afford their mortgage, and we're having a conversation about the lexicon of diversity. But okay, did DEI make the president's approval rate fall to 39%? Is DEI the reason that Republicans can't pass any of their bills on the floor this week? Is DEI the reason that the Supreme Court upheld birthright citizenship? Did DEI kill the dinosaurs? I don't think that the American people are buying this attempt to divide and distract and scapegoat. Because what I would say, Mr. Chairman, it's feeling and sounding a lot like 1967 in this room. If you know, you know. We know what's happening. We know what this conversation is really about. And none of us have any real answers about what we're doing today outside of having a conversation that is set to break the commitment to include all Americans, to uplift the fact that we look different. We have different languages. We may pray differently, but the assault on that beauty, that's what we're litigating. Okay, but it's disgusting. And you want to blame DEI, you want to blame foreigners, you want to blame people of color for the price of gas, for the inaffordability in this country, and the fact that literally right down the street, folks who are working 2 and 3 jobs can afford to take their baby to daycare. And I'll yield back. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for this conversation today.
Thank you, Ms. Simon, and I would just note that DEI policies are what drove the United States allowing foreigners to buy up homes with FHA loans. I think they did drive up the price of
Mr.
housing.
Chairman, do you want to talk about the GI Bill in the Stanford study?
happy to talk about
that showed,
anything you'd
that
like to talk
literally
about.
showed tens of thousands of mortgages being taken out, and less than 1% of those GI
what our side of the
mortgages are
aisle
1%.
is hoping for is for college admissions and business hiring decisions to not be based on
I don't
race.
think that white men are in the minority of any of the top 10
I don't
colleges.
either, and never suggested that. With that, and without objection, all members have 5 legislative days.
Representative Simon's line of questioning wasn't really about proving that anyone genuinely believes DEI determines the price of groceries or gasoline. It was a rhetorical strategy designed to expose what Democrats see as a disconnect between the issues dominating congressional hearings and the problems dominating Americans' daily lives.